Well, everybody, welcome to Friday. If you're on Facebook, we'll convey your messages to Angela. If you're on Zoom, you can ask Angela questions directly. So today we have Angela Barbi. Angela is from beautiful Spain, Girona. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Yes.
Angela is a brand ambassador. You see her almost every week, sometimes behind the scenes doing interpretation. It's always wonderful to see her. Angela, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here.
And would you like people to ask you questions at the end or while you're painting?
I think maybe better at the end, if I feel very comfortable, because I'm not sure how I feel.
Okay.
If I feel comfortable, then I will say you can ask questions now. Okay.
So Angela also does teaching. And Angela, how long have you been an artist?
Not this for about 25 or 29 years. Yes.
And is that in watercolor or watercolor, oil, acrylic, or?
No, I never did oils. What I did was I started actually with watercolor and then continued with silk, acrylics, and did many things, but pure watercolor, because it was an alternative watercolor. It was more in the anthroposophy school, so it was more it was not to represent objects, it was more abstract. And then later, like watercolor it's now, it's maybe 20 years, or yeah, about 20 years.
And did you have formal training?
Only the training of these anthroposophy schools. That was a very good training. But it's not, let's say, the traditional training. But we learned about composition, the colors, and all these things, and the meaning.
And who did you have as a mentor? Who did you see as a mentor?
A mentor, this teacher that her name is Herminia Antolinos. She lived in Switzerland and she trained to be this anthroposophy teacher, and she was really my mentor. She's the one from who I learned more at that moment, and then yeah, some others. Of course, all the teachers that I organize the courses for, they are not exactly my mentors, but they are people I admire and learn a lot from them.
So Angela travels the world. She's in India, Europe, you name a place, prior to the pandemic, and Angela was there, and she sets up workshops for some of the most noted watercolorists in the world.
Yeah, that's true. I'm so fortunate, very, very fortunate. But you see, one negative thing about this is that because I am so busy working, that I don't have so much time to paint. I have to reverse that.
John, we have prepared a PowerPoint for Angela's, but just before she starts the demonstration. So we'll just quickly run through the slide, and hopefully our guests, we want our guests to follow you, Angela, especially your social media accounts, because Angela's very active there. So let's share screen. Okay, here we go. So yes, if after the session or even during the session, feel free to check Angela's profile as one of our brand ambassadors. I could paste in the chat room the direct link to that page. And would you like to carry on from here, Angela?
Yes. Do you want me to comment?
Yes.
This is my Instagram account. I actually have two Instagram accounts. This EPC Art Courses is the name for my business. EPC meaning Enjoy Painting Catalonia, and Art Courses, it's always been called Art Courses. But there I mix my own personal things and my business or my other activities. I have another account which is called Angela Barbi, but I don't post much there. And I was told that it's better not to have two accounts. So the other one is quite inactive. But actually, the other one would be mine as an artist. So here we have, No, do I comment the paintings, or you comment later, or you will slide the paintings later?
It's more like we introduce them to your social media pages.
Okay. Okay, dear. Yes, that was my Instagram account, and this is my Facebook account. If you see, it's a Barbie 3. I was one of the first Barbies. There are lots of Barbies. Angela Barbies also, loads of them. Yes, one lady, I booked a course in France, and because the rooms were very expensive, nobody would take a single room if the single supplement was expensive. So I said, okay, I will share with somebody. And the other lady said, well, let me find out who the person I'm sharing with is like. So she researched Facebook, and there was an Angela Barbi, like very, very a gothic girl, with black nails and rastas and all of this. She said, no, I don't want to share with her. So it was not me. There are many. And this is a website, yes, EPC Art Courses, Joy Painting Catalonia, as you see here, the logo. And yeah, that's the main website that I have been using for many years. It needs a renovation now. Oh, this is one painting. I love the painting, and it brings back so many memories. This is India. This river is the Ganges. They call it Ganga there because it's like a goddess, the goddess Ganga. And it was, I did a full sheet, but I had this paper, this handmade paper, Indian paper, khadi. And the other paper, I had some colors left. So I thought, what am I going to do? I'm not going to throw these away. So bam, 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 bam. In 5 minutes, I did this. It was really fun. It's exactly like this. They have the boats here on the shore, and well, that's the sunset in Rishikesh. And this one is my favorite. This one is a demo I did for Bulgaria. I still have it recorded, and it's pure watercolor, and this dark in the center, and the blue is ink. So it's a flower. Yeah, this is in Santa Cruz. I have been there several years. They have this encontro in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is a city south of, I think it's south or north of Lisbon, maybe north of Lisbon on the Atlantic coast. It's like a summer town. It's very beautiful. And that's where Antonio Bartolo organizes some gatherings of painters. And I've been there a few times. And this time I was the guest painter. And so, yeah, if you can see, there are some effects which are due to the soap. I was there with Sylvia. Okay. That's another very abstract. And if you can see at the bottom, there is the use of salt. And that gives it a nice texture. This is just a moment. Now, this is my granddaughter. My granddaughter now is 7. There she was maybe 3. And I had a cat, if you can see his face. He was not very friendly, but she felt so, he would scratch you sometimes, but she would go to him and she would not ask for his permission. She just put her head on him, and he was so patient. She was there for 2 or 3 minutes. He didn't move. And I took some photos, obviously, and I thought, this is the image of tenderness. And I had to paint it. I like that one. And this is a very expressive, this is what I like to do. It doesn't always come out well, but this I love to do. This is a pomegranate, and then with the background, the same colors in the background as in the foreground, and there's some granulations. There is some opera pink, some pyro red, and some violet. I love this one. This is, I paint, you paint on a piece of paper. In this particular case, it was with inks from the silk, but leaving some whites. And then on top, you stick some paper, some transparent paper. It's called, we call it silk paper. I don't know what you call it. And what do you call it? You cringe it, you crease it while you stick it. And so it has some texture. And then on top of that, using some of the images that are that you can see transparent, then you paint on top. And what there was these green stones on the left. I interpreted them as stones. That's the river in Girona, the River Onyar. And then I painted the city on top of this paper. That's a very nice technique. That's the cathedral and the houses by the river, the bridge, the red bridge. Oh, and this is one of my favorites, totally favorites. This is a collage. Collage, there is everything. Watercolor, what is the other thing? The fluid acrylics. There is collage, the white drips, they are white fluid acrylic. So water media, everything is water media though. The composition I like a lot. I call it Ballerina because the song Ballerina by, I don't know if you know it, but Van Morrison has a song called Ballerina. And the first words of the song are spread your wings, spread your wings, or angel fly. So for me, this is wings that spread. That's why I call it ballerina.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of slide.
Thank you. Thank you. So shall I start the demo? Would you like to ask me any questions?
I think that's fine, Angela. And let us know whether you want questions at the end or while you're painting. So maybe as you start painting, you can let us know.
Yeah, I will start painting and let me concentrate because I don't do this very often. I think maybe it's better at the end. If I feel ready for questions in the middle, I will let you know. Okay.
So I think a lot of the questions you already know, having done this many, many, many times, there's going to be questions about what paper you're using. What is what's your incline, etc. So maybe as you do it, you could just,
Exactly. I was thinking of doing that, of explaining about the brushes, about the inclination, about the paper, colors. So, and if you still have questions, well, that's okay. But I don't know how concentrated I will be. Sometimes I'm very concentrated, and sometimes I get distracted. So just in case, I would prefer if you have very questions that I have to think a lot, that they were at the end, please. Okay?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. I have many like that. Yeah. I have many colors that I like, and I have chosen some for my dot card. But yesterday somebody mentioned that Moonglow was one of my favorite colors, and I didn't want to disappoint you, so I'm going to use the Moonglow today. I'm going to paint the one scene from Santa Cruz, because that left a strong impression on me. Santa Cruz, remember, is in Portugal, is a summer place in Portugal, and it has a very distinctive rock. So, and I like the textures created, so I will definitely use Moonglow there. Is there enough light here? Yes?
Should be fine.
Mm-hmm. How is that, better or not? No. Okay, so I will start. I have to tell you that I sometimes draw, but not now. I will not draw now. What I will use as brushes, I will show you. I'll not on the paper, well, here. They are some flat Da Vinci. But basically I use a lot of Skoda brushes because the Skoda are, we have collaborated a lot. They are my friends. And this in particular is a foldable brush made of squirrel hair for Liu Yi. It belongs to Liu Yi set. And I have others. This is Kolinsky, pure Kolinsky. This is the Perla, the normal Perla, more for lines. And then I also use Heron brushes. I don't know if you know them, but they are extremely good. The Heron brushes from South Korea. I have also a very big Heron brush, which I was using these days. I don't know, it's natural hair. I don't know exactly what hair it is, but it's natural hair. This is 10 centimeters. And the biggest one I have is this one. I fell in love with this in Fabriano because in Fabriano they have a stand and this is very good for big papers. I think that Agus Brillianto would love that. And so maybe Besnik has it already. Okay.
We know what that one is called. Is there a special name for that one? Thanks.
This one is, if you have a look, it's the Sirius FCH. Let me turn it around. Can you read better? 10 centimeters. No, 15 centimeters, 150 millimeters. I like also the 100 millimeters. Maybe it's easier to use because this one you need a really big paper. So, but both of them, they are real hair. This one is also real hair, and it's very, very good. Anyway,
that
so
brush looks like a draftsman's cleaning brush. What draftsmen used to use.
Ah, yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Could be. So, and I have many other brushes, but these are the ones, the basic ones that I'm going to use today. So today, I will start with, this is a big paper. I hope you can see the whole paper. If you can't, just let me know, okay? And I'll try to move it, okay? Yeah. It's the way I work tend to work very wet. So what I will do, the paper, my paper today is Arche Torchon, 300 grams. Torchon means the rough. It's the rough paper. I prefer cold press, but I didn't have cold press. The main difference for me is that I have to wet it more because I tried it before and I felt that it got dry very quickly. So I have to wet it more. That's what I have to bear in mind. The quality is excellent. I have tried Saunders. I have tried Windsor, Fabriano. Yeah, they are all okay. But for me, my favorite is still Arche, more than Saunders. I don't know why. I prefer, many of them are good, you know, even Hahnemühle. And I sometimes like to use Fabriano Artistico, but the hot pressed. For certain effects, it goes fantastic because the color moves very freely. So now the paper is quite wet, but it's not flat wet. This is the way that that Nicolas Lopez wets the paper. I got used to doing that. Sometimes I do it flat, but this time I will do it like this. Or sometimes I also wet it from the back. If you wet it from the back, then it will stay wet longer. Okay, now, and this is my palette. I don't know the name of the palette. It's not the John Pike palette, but it's similar. So today I'm going to use 3 or 4 main colors. I'm going to use the Moonglow, as I told you, Moonglow, Rose of Ultramarine, the Quinacridone Gold, and the, I think it's Bloodstone. I'm not sure because I don't have the name here. I am not sure if it's the Bloodstone. I think it's Bloodstone or Piemontite, maybe Piemontite. I cannot, I wrote the names, but they are erased now. So what I will do, I will start with drawing I will draw the rock that is in the middle of the sea. It's a bit wet. Don't know if it's too wet, maybe. Well, let's see what happens. Oops. No problem. This was quite a landmark there. I put also some orange, pyrrole orange, and these Piemontite. I'm not sure if it's Piemontite or Bloodstone. Adding some shadows. And then this rock continues to the sea. It's like there are some little islands, like some rocks continue. I'm adding a bit of Moonglow and this Bloodstone. I love Moonglow so much because it's so versatile and it allows you to do many different things. I just remember how it was when I went there. Seems like I relive it now. And now, like Stella yesterday, blue sea is boring, so I will paint it opera pink. How about that? That place has wonderful sunsets. And sometimes the sky is a bit pink. And even if it is, if it isn't, I like it. I think you can ask me questions now. I feel comfortable if you want.
Angela, we have 2 guests asking if they could, if you could have your reference photo.
Reference photo.
That can be done later.
Yeah, I will look for something that is similar, some similar scenes. Yes. If you Google Santa Cruz, Torres Vedras, you'll see the shape. Okay. But I can share later the photo. Okay.
Angela, what was the color you used for the sky?
Opera pink.
Angela,
Yes, there.
is it usual for you to use those clips to hold the paper down?
If I don't want to, normally I tape the paper, but if I want the edges to be seen, like to be painted like that, then I have to use clips.
Do you, during the painting, move those clips?
No,
No.
no.
Right. Thank you.
No, because they leave a mark, it stays white, you know, and you try to minimize the, well, at least I do. This is like the sand that is coming down. It's a bit yellow, I know, but I'm not a very realistic painter. Sometimes I can be, but for me it's more exciting to be like more
Angela,
abstract.
Angela, can you push your paper up some, please?
Oh yes,
There we go. That's great.
like that.
Yes, please.
The sky is singing, Angela.
Isn't it?
That's Stella.
Yes, you gave me a good idea. There are some other rocks. I didn't paint the rocks here, but they can be painted now. The good thing about having a wet paper is that you can keep adding and removing and okay. And now I will start with the sea. What color will the sea be? What do you think?
Green.
No.
It'll have opera pink if the sky is the same.
Millions of blues and greens and pinks.
No, all wrong. It will be moonglow.
Moonglow.
Ah, you didn't expect it to be moonglow, right?
No.
No. And moonglow and another color, rose of ultramarine.
Nice.
You know that I wanted to suggest you rose of ultramarine, Angela.
Ah, you see, I know
Frankly.
it's your color. Yes, I know.
But I never used it for C.
No, there you go. So now you know.
Yeah,
Because
it's
this
definitely
rose of
blue.
ultramarine is a little bit
Bluish.
like the sky is reflecting
Also,
this.
it has blue.
Yeah,
nice
maybe
combination.
ultramarine, John. What
Yeah.
blue does it
Yeah,
have?
ultramarine.
Ultramarine. And
Yeah.
then the moonglow has that nice red from the anthraquinoid red.
Exactly. So it's all in the same family. I think they work. They are like cousins, and they get on well together. So I find that moonglow and this rose of ultramarine work so well together, and the yellow, the quinacridone gold, is like a good complement, because moonglow is a violet, right? So I don't know, I just like it. Sometimes I don't think so much, you know, it's just I like that color and I take it, and I just take it. Here the paper is getting dry already, so you see, it's very, very strong paper, so I have to keep wetting it, because otherwise the color will not flow. I have a 600-gram paper, but I'm afraid to use it, to be honest. Have you got the experience of using it?
It is scary.
Why are you afraid of using the
No,
600?
because it will all get dry, and I've heard that the color goes in and it doesn't shine, and I don't know. Why am I afraid? It's silly, isn't it?
The heavier the, sorry, go on.
It is good to use it when in a dry place so that it keeps longer wet.
But do you wet it from the back?
Yes, sometimes, yes, I usually paint wet and dry, but then everything is wet and very quickly it sucks into the paper. But if you wet it on the back, it will stay for a long time moist.
Yes, you have to wet it from the back. I have to try it because I've got several beautiful sheets of really good paper. But I didn't want for the demo today. I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, not for the first time. Yes, you have to paint a few times and you get used to it.
Yes. Yes, that's why I bought it, because I wanted to really experiment, you know. Yes, there.
The rule of thumb generally is the heavier your paper gets, the more thirsty the
What is the
paper will
AV
be.
paper? What is the AV paper?
Well, 600, if you're talking about 600,
Yes.
are you talking about grams or?
Yes, grams.
600 grams. What's that? That's around about £300.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's not particularly heavy.
No.
We're talking about anything above that is.
Well, that's as far as I get. 300 pounds. Yes.
600 pounds. 600 pounds is very heavy. That's like 800 or 900 grams.
And why do you use
in Portugal?
heavy?
I know a painter in Portugal. He always paints 900 grams. An excellent painter and very well known.
It's about texture. If you're really into that kind of thing, some people have paper that's handmade, and it is extremely textured, but it's just part of the abstract nature of the painting.
I love the way you are capturing the feeling of that city, Santa
because
Cruz.
you know it, right?
Yes.
We were there together. So you think it is really Santa Cruz? It reminds you of Santa Cruz?
Sure.
But the water is not like that, is it?
Well, but in your imagination it is, so that's what I like.
Exactly.
I love how the colors are mixing, Angela.
Yes, exactly. And if they do what I think they will do, what I hope they will do, they will create lovely, like, granulations and passages between one and the other. And that's what I like. Like your waters. Remember, Stella, your water yesterday was going up, you know, it had 1,000 colors inside. So I want also this, you know.
Yeah, I like the granulation very much. It gives such a texture and atmospheric, and I love the granulation.
These colors, these moon glow especially, I love it so much because it's so versatile, and it is I don't know, it's so special. I told John many times.
It is.
But I'm sure I'm not the only one, am I?
I also love moon glow. It's amazing color.
And what do you use your rose of ultramarine for, Bisnik?
In any of my abstract paintings, is one of my favorite colors because it's so beautiful. Such a nice combination of these two colors that even with this single tube, I can do all painting. I will challenge myself in next future paintings. I will make only this color. It's really beautiful.
In monochrome.
Actually, it will be duochrome because it has two colors mixed very nicely.
Yes, that's true. I want to give some texture to the sand. That's why I splatter some color. I'm taking risk here. You know, that type of painting that I'm doing, you don't have any guarantees. If I feel a little square or a little space, then it's much easier to know what
It comes very beautiful, Angela. I actually love it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Angela,
Yes, my dear.
do you do much lifting of the paint off of the to add extra texture?
No, no, I don't.
You just leave it and
Yeah, hope for the best or add. I don't like lifting, you know, because well, sometimes you can do. Sometimes, like for example, if I think like here, for example, let's say you mean like here, I need another line, no? I can do this, no? For example, this is what you mean?
yeah.
Sometimes I do.
But it is a risk, isn't it? Sometimes it works, sometimes it just
Yeah, it doesn't
confusion,
always
doesn't
work.
it?
Yeah, it doesn't always work. What I can do sometimes is throw some water or paint a line with water, and then it will remove the, you know, it will go.
Always like to see water splattered onto wet.
Yes.
That's nice as well on abstract.
Thank you for the idea. I'm going to do that now.
Colors are beautiful, Angela.
Eh?
Beautiful.
Thank
What
you.
makes the choice with your subject, Angela? Do you have a special connection with it?
Yes, definitely. A lot of connection, because I've been there 3 times. And oh, what is happening here? Wait. No, I've been there 3 times, and
this is nice as well.
4 times. 4 times.
Very
and
good.
It brings me really good memories.
Good.
And just I've seen so many sunsets there.
So actually,
you
paint with your heart, what your heart is saying.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Angela?
that's very good.
Angela, you lost your top camera.
Yeah.
Oh, have I? What is wrong here?
Is it? Oh, there.
There we go. Oh,
No,
you lost it again.
Wait.
That picture with the sunflowers is beautiful.
Yeah, the flower does look
good. Both are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's not. Okay,
there we go.
Back.
Yep.
Just have to adjust. Tilt it down a little.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah. I just have to tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
go towards you, camera.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's good.
That's okay.
That's good.
So it's very, very messy when you paint like this, but so again, who cares?
Mess is good.
You will clean it later. That's all.
Angela,
see what happened. Yes, dear.
this painting is so beautiful, and I have a hunger to want to go there and paint now.
Don't be near me. I'll have you traveling all over the world.
Okay.
Let's go together, Gabriel.
Yes.
Yes.
With our
Listen,
mood
Santa Cruz will
Whatever.
happen this year, I think.
Angela.
Let me take this off because I don't like what it's doing here. You see, there is this mark here. How can I remove this? Sometimes I re-wet it.
I also like to use the rose of ultramarine with burnt sienna and
I've never tried
ultramarine to make a black.
Oh, really? I've never tried with burnt sienna.
Most people use a Linsen crimson to mix it two other colors to make a black, but I like what the rose of ultramarine will do.
Now I'm going to take a good risk. Do you think I should?
Sure.
That
This is
granulation right there is beautiful.
Painting is courage.
Just put a blob of that
Introduce
paint on
some
that,
lunar
that
black.
light area. It's what
Excuse
I tend
me?
to do.
Sorry?
When I use those clips that you're using, I tend to just put a blob of the paint on it and scrub it into it. And you can barely see that there's a point there.
That's true. Very true. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to splatter a thick color.
Angela,
Yes.
is this typical of the kind of work you do when you're in a plein air environment?
Yes.
So it's as loose
Yes.
as
The only problem with plein air is that I don't have the table. I need certain, number of things.
Yeah.
Like table and all these things. But if I do, then that's what I love to do.
Do you find it dries too quickly when you're working with plein air? Because this is holding the moisture a long time to keep manipulating the paints.
Yes, I have to keep wetting it, re-wetting it. See if some granulation is happening now. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have wetted it.
Would you be tempted to put salt on it, or do you not use that?
Yes, I do, but not on the sea. I don't know. Maybe I can try. There's no limits, there's no limits. I don't believe in this type of limits, and maybe Sylvia taught me to use soap. Sylvia, who's here, she uses soap, so why not? Soap, I mean, from the bottle, and it gives a beautiful texture. So there's a white space there that I may wish to. I want to try the what you said. Who said that? Besnik said, rose of ultramarine with. Yes, I want to try that. You will forgive me if it doesn't work, right? What have we lost? Just a piece of paper.
Angela,
right? Yeah.
What is your favorite medium to use? Is it fresh paint? Is it pans? Is it the stick?
No, tubes, the fresh tubes.
Yeah. Fresh from the tube.
Yes, but I must tell you that yesterday or no, last week, I didn't have ultramarine. So, but I had tubes, sticks.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I broke the sticks and put them in the water, warm water, and I got a lot of ultramarine. Same as black. I needed the black, the Mars black, but I only had it in sticks. So you can use your sticks as paint, it's normal paint. But I prefer the tube if I can. I've only used one brush.
You usually use only one brush, or it's only today that you're doing that?
No, only today.
I love all the textures that you're getting there.
True, they are beautiful.
What kind of soap? You had mentioned soap. What kind of soap from the bottle do you use?
No, hand soap, you know, the normal hand soap from the supermarket.
Do you mean a detergent?
No, hand soap, you know, the liquid soap.
Yeah.
You take it out of the bottle, you know, the tube charged with soap, and then you let it flow on the paper, and it will create texture. Sylvia, I think, can explain better this. She uses it a lot, I think.
I think it's to do with the flow into it. It helps it flow better. Water.
No, it's not flow. It creates some. It separates. You know, the colors separate. They divide.
Like a cellular thing.
It acts as a surfactant.
Sorry?
It acts as a surfactant. It causes flow.
But only certain colors and not all of them.
Yeah.
Or yes, or the colors go away from where they were.
I believe some people use alcohol as well to.
Yes, alcohol, yes. So I'm not sure now. If I keep touching, maybe it will get worse. So I better stop.
So Angela, I'm going to ask you an Angela question. When do you know when you're done?
This is a difficult question or difficult answer to give. But the important thing is to dialogue with your painting, you know, to talk to it, and if you listen, it will tell you. It will tell you when. Well, for me, you don't know what else to do. If you continue doing things, you might spoil it. So I think that's the time to stop. Even though I don't listen very often to that, and so I overdo it.
Angela, I love the texture and the rocks and the granulations in the sand, and it's so beautifully connected and beautiful colors that you let them just do their work.
That's it. You have to let them do it. Thank you for saying that, because it's true. They have to do their work. You cannot, you're just a mere assistant. Maybe if I bring it nearer to the camera, you can see some textures here.
Beautiful.
They do say that watercolor paints itself if you let it do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll do it itself. Yes. I will let it vertical a little bit more, and so the color can run. And once it's drier, then I can put it flat. There you go.
That's a point, Angela. Because it's kind of abstract in its expression, is it important to have strong vertical things and horizontal things in the painting?
Oh, we lost
well, whether it's at again.
Yeah.
We lost her again, yeah.
What is the problem? I know.
Maybe the cable.
Because somebody is calling me.
Oh.
Is it knocking you out?
That is the problem. That is the problem. When somebody calls, then the signal.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You have to discontinue the notifications and the calls. But I can use this, John, to say how wonderful, and thank you so much for bringing us from the whole world together, watching and paint from Kosovo to England, to United States, to all over the world. I think you're doing amazing job with that, and thank you.
I appreciate that. All of you are absolutely wonderful. You make it so worthwhile. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this has become quite a community,
And
I really appreciate it. You know,
the best community in the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want to be welcomed in.
You are very welcome, and everybody. This is the greatest family.
Well, we have also a very new member, the new member of the family, the youngest member that is 2 days old.
Oh.
Oh, yes, Thomas.
I think the other camera, Angela, is not back.
But how can I get it back? Because I go to Zoom. Wait. I have to cut Zoom and
Yeah.
Can you go
start
to
again.
your other camera?
He's just using mobile.
But it's
Just
picking
check
your,
if it's
picking
still
your
on.
audio up.
Because it's picking the audio of the, yes, I'm entering now.
Okay.
Speaking the audio of the, I have my headphones from the computer. Sorry about that. I should have
Okay, it's back.
Yeah.
It's connected.
Stella says.
Well, we already seen the masterpiece.
A nice place you have, Angela. We love it.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. I have to cancel. Yes, now.
And we
Angela, do you
Yes.
live in Girona?
Yes, I do.
There you are.
I love Girona.
Have you been there?
Many times, yes.
What is the problem?
It's connected now.
Yes.
Yeah, there. Just have to
Rotate.
I have to
rotate. Yeah.
rotate.
To your left. To your left. More, just a little
It
bit
was
more.
no, it was okay, but
Probably-
Yeah,
There we go.
now,
Hey, oh dear.
now, oh, so many technical problems, right? But we are resolving them. Okay. Okay.
Just
No?
tilt.
Oh.
There.
Bloody camera is getting disconnected.
Bloody camera.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't say anything. Somebody heard anything?
Oh,
No.
time, yeah.
That is better, right?
There we go.
Move it more into shot to the right, and you're all right there.
It's back.
Here.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
are.
It's good.
That is it. Yes. My beautiful brushes. And so it will keep changing because you see these yellow. Oops, what is happening here? Ah,
I wonder if
hate
you've
this.
got a
Everybody's
dodgy
calling you.
connection on your camera.
no, it's not a call. It's telling me I have a little battery, but enough.
Okay.
No, the thing is that this yellow, you see, the quinacridone gold. I don't know if you see it. But
Yeah.
the
Yes,
quinacridone
how-
gold
Yeah.
Yes, beautifully is mixing.
is mixing. Yes, it's getting into the other colors. You see,
Beautiful.
and this is a jolly sea, isn't it? It's not a boring sea, as Stella said. I don't want a
Yes.
boring sea. I don't want boring seas, and well, you can do a lot of things maybe still, but I don't think I will do anything else at the moment. I will let it sit, and then when it's dry, we'll see.
Beautiful, Angela.
Thank you, Mark.
Beautiful.
Sorry, it's a bit accidental, this this connection, but
Todo bueno.
todo bueno, no? Tutto bene.
Muy hermosa.
Muy hermoso. Thank you. Everyone knows Italian, Spanish, and everything, no? Because
No,
Europe has... no.
Sí.
Bulgarian, no. We don't know it. Da. The only thing I can say, da. And dobroveche, no? Dobroveche.
Dobroveche, very good.
Dobroveche, you see? I can't remember what it means. It means good morning.
Now, good evening and good pronunciation, Angela.
Good. So anyway, I'm going to sit at the computer. Now, if you want to change my main camera, yes. So any other questions you would like to ask, even about Girona or whatever?
Angela?
Yes.
With this painting, would you go on to add any motifs or key feature into it, or would you consider that to be the finished product?
What do you mean motif? Like adding people or boat or something like that?
Not necessarily people, maybe a boat or anything that's a key point in the image. Or is it finished in your mind's
I like
eye?
it like that. No, yeah. I like it like that. Maybe I would define a bit better the sand with the sea or something like that, or define a bit the landscape. But this is a landscape painting.
So would you say you like a simple image that just has striking expression?
Exactly. Thank you. You have to write it to me because so I can explain. When they ask me, what do you do? I like this. Please write it down. Striking, a simple, what did you say? A simple expression.
Simple but striking.
Simple but striking. Yeah.
Let it express itself through the blibs and blobs that you've created and the interaction of various colors.
Yes,
it's
because
emotion, Ian. Emotion.
Yes, I am more an emotional painter, and I've tried doing other things, but you see, either I get bored or I'm not good at it, or I don't like it. So I think that my road, I have so much to learn. I am just at the beginning, actually, but that's me, you know. It's more, and if I can do it in 20 minutes, I won't do it in 2 hours if I can help it.
What is the longest painting that you think that you've ever done?
Well, with silk, I've done paintings for 1 year even. Wow. I can show you the one, but only once a month. I can show you if I take the camera, I can show you this one took me 1 year.
Oh dear.
Oh. Can you see this?
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. I can see why this would have took a year to paint.
And between there was, you know, the corrections. I didn't like the first one. This is a quadriptych, and it's huge. You know, it's 1 meter something by 45, and it's 4. But you paint it together. I painted it just in one.
Is it on a canvas?
Yes, it's silk that is stapled on canvas and tied.
Yeah,
you know. So it took me a whole year to figure out what I wanted and how I wanted it, because it's also Mamma mia, someone else calls me. Well, anyway, they don't call me the whole day. They have to call me right now. But that's life.
Popular.
No, not popular, because you know, yesterday, the day before yesterday, nobody called. Only today, now.
What is the time in Spain?
It's 8:30.
Anna Maria, questions?
I was hoping you could speak to your art philosophy and advice for the younger artists on how to keep it loose and free and emotional.
Yes, well, you see, for young artists, so it's all the same for everyone. We are already artists. We are born loose and expressive, and we just have to find that place inside us. So for a child, just let him be. Just don't direct them. Let them express. Let them play. Let them be themselves. Don't no, this is outside the line. No, this is, no, let them be, let them enjoy themselves. And then little by little, they will also ask. We have to have faith in them. Well, with my grandchildren, my grandchild, for example, she asked me, can I follow you and we paint together? Look at what she did. You don't need to tell them. The important, what we have lost, the adults, is what they have already, what they have by default. So we help them just express themselves. And then if they want more specific, they want to follow some design, some drawings, then little by little show them, but especially don't tell them what you shouldn't do, because they know better than us, because they are still connected. We have this connection when we are small and young, but then little by little with the years we lose it, and all the work we have to do is to try and find it again. It's like sometimes I see Alvaro, he's painting, he's in another planet, and he's like finding that thread that connects him with his own, whatever, call it, soul or whatever, and he's there. And so that is the difficult thing to find, and that's what I would like to find. And children have it much easier.
You know what?
And they're not afraid of the white paper, Anne-Marie.
They are not afraid of the white paper. They are not afraid of what the others think, and that is very, very good. It's a huge quality. So just let them play, and little by little they will give shape to that. They will give a shape, and that's they won't enter a chaos. They have a lot of order inside. I believe.
I believe that if we keep from having critiques, our paintings would be so much more dynamic. It's the critiques that kill the creativity in my case.
Yes, it's possible. It's possible because someone else tells you what you should do, and not respect what you really want to do.
Yes.
That's because very few people know how to critique art properly anyway. But it always comes from their own perspective rather than the overall perspective of art.
That's true.
What you create is your creation and cannot be said to be right or wrong, because it's your creation. Just because somebody comes along and puts an argument forward, that doesn't make it right or wrong. So,
well, there are certain things, for example, knowing how much water goes with how much paint and how much composition. There are certain things that the more you know, the more you can use these tools.
Going back to what we've just said about children, what they have that we don't have is two things: naivety. Good to be naive. In fact, there's an art form called naive.
Yes.
Right? And professional artists try to copy it, and it doesn't look anything like it.
No, because it's not so authentic.
Yeah, because we're so tight in his own ideas. And another thing that children have that we don't have is a lack of prejudice towards other things. They don't. It's only when we become adults that we have prejudices and say, oh, well, this is right and that's wrong.
Exactly.
In art generally, there isn't any right or wrong. You do what you want. It's your expression. It might not go right and it might not go wrong.
Absolutely.
They are not intimidated.
Yeah.
So on that basis, we, when you critique people, it's always got to try to be a positive that leads them in the right direction, rather than saying that piece of art's rubbish. because of this, and this.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
the best
difference
art
between
teachers, sorry? No, the best art teachers are the ones, for example, I remember Charles Reed's critiques. He was such a blessed soul. He always tried to find at least one good thing in that painting.
and there is
he
always a good thing in a painting.
And that helped this person to improve that, and to feel better. So more encouraged for the next time.
But people very often mix critique with being critical. Critique is a wonderful thing when among friends you critique each other, and it doesn't mean you're critical. So there is a big difference.
Have you ever heard? Have you ever
heard? Be constructive.
Yes.
Have you ever heard the formula for critique? What was the artist trying to do? Did they do it? And then third, was it worth doing?
Oh no,
But was it worth?
That is a direct quote from this book. That's a direct quote from this book.
No, I don't agree.
No, but was it worth doing? To me, was it worth doing is, do I respond emotionally to it? And that's going to be different for every person. So, but I do think it's wonderful to consider what the artist is trying to do, and then saying, yeah, did you get there or not? And it doesn't need to be critical, as you were saying, Stella, but you know, taking it from the artist's perspective. Did they accomplish what they wanted to accomplish?
But worth, everything is worth. Every touch of the paper, every color that you put there, all of it is absolutely worth. There is nothing not worth in art, because you learn, we all learn with every touch of the paper. So I don't agree with this, is it worth it? It is always worth it.
Well, and I
think
think
this is a matter to debate on a bigger platform at some point, isn't it? Critique and how we deal with our contemporary artists around us, and what we say to them, what we don't say to them, is a massive big matter, isn't it? But we've always got to try and be positive toward creativity. Is a good thing, and we want people to be creative, not destructive. So
well, I think
always try to be.
I want to share one experience that I had with these my mentor. I learned a lot from her, and we had sometimes we painted in groups, 5, 10 people, 5 or 8 people maybe, and we used to, at the end of the day, we used to hang on a cord our works, and normally the person who had painted that work said, I don't like it because it has this, that and the other. And then it was the other's turn to critique it. But so you had to learn how to look at that work and say something about it. And then you start to see also the good things in yours. So it was a very, very positive way, because we never said things like, oh, no, this is horrible. No, like, oh, maybe the stick should have been shorter or you know, or longer or whatever. But and then another thing we did was we painted like one painting. We had one piece of paper, and in turns of 5 minutes, one person painted, and then the next person went after that. So you could use what the other one, or cover, or do whatever you wanted. You know, a lot of very creative exercises. So yes.
Well, I think some teachers kill the joy by being overly critical. I had an art teacher who hit me over the head because I was using a picture on a book to draw a picture of Beethoven.
Oh, wow.
And she said, you shouldn't be using a picture to draw.
Wow.
Having that trust in your community and that relationship with the art community to make it constructive and something that builds us up to be more prolific as artists.
Yes.
And yeah, most professional artists will admit that when they're doing a picture of a portrait, they project an image. They don't spend time fiddly drawing. They get on with it, they project it, they draw it onto substrate and paint. You know what I mean?
Many artists do that.
It's about trick of the trade, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
how can anybody criticize someone drawing something if they want to? It's about what you want to do and how you want to do it. If they don't like it, they don't have to look at it. I didn't like looking at that banana strapped onto that wall.
Exactly.
It offended me. It offended me so much that I got an empty soda can, strapped it onto the wall, took a picture and said, this is worth more than £120 million.
Why not?
If you
That's
can
my
get
level
it.
of sarcasm.
But just before we finish, I would like to thank Daniel Smith and especially John Cogley, because after discovering, well, we met in Hong Kong, if you remember, John. We met not in Hong Kong, in Shenzhen, in China. And there was already something in their brand that attracted me enormously, especially the way they behaved with the artist. So, but when I was discovering, the more I was discovering the colors, the more I realized how reliable and how professional they are, because they are safe and they are very, very good, top quality. And when you know who is behind these colors, you can trust them even more, because you have many proofs that they will do the best for the artist. They will not risk, and the quality, the amount of pigment, the purity will be the best. And well, there are many other brands, of course, and some of them are very good. But this investigation that is unique, this care for the artist in general, it's like, this is very unique, and that makes me be in love with Daniel Smith.
Thank you very much, Angela. Thank you, everybody. Very much appreciate that.
And the criticism of the critics has been wonderful.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. Angela, if you post your finished work, that'd be fantastic.
Yes.
There was some viewers that were coming in toward the end. The video is going to be posted, so you get to watch Angela either again or for the first time. And thank all of you for taking part in the discussion. It was absolutely wonderful, going to the full view and seeing you take part. So thank you all very, very, very much. And we will see you next week.
Lovely.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, John.
Angela.
And see you next week.
Bye.
Gracias, Angela.
Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.